Hi guys, welcome back to the Small Barn Workshop. Hope you're all well. So in this video I thought I'd go through a few tools that my friends at Banggood have sent. And the first one is this Enjoywood vise that I used in last video to make this little workbench. And for those who watch this channel quite regular, you know I like to make things out of parquet floor. So it's made out of pine parquet floor with some little mahogany accents, and these little mahogany accents were cut from the rebates when I made a new door frame for the back door a few years ago. Then I just finished it with some teak oil. The legs of this workbench are made so it sits nicely within a standard MFT grid, so I can clamp it to the workbench using the MFT. My plan long term is to have a similar MFT setup on this new workbench, but it certainly works on the other two workbenches I have in this workspace. Now the dogs that are on the top came in this Fonson dog kit that Banggood sent me a long time ago. I've used this quite a few times and they're just nice to sit in these little doggos just to clamp pieces. Vise itself works very well. It's a very smooth running piece of kit, and I just screwed it down with 4 screws and washers. Just release that little screw so you can move the winding mechanism out of the way. So the maximum opening size between the metal is 300mm, and actually the way I've got it configured is 270mm. First tool we'll unbox today is actually a follow-up to the video I made with my fold-down workbench, and for anybody who saw them videos, I needed some longer dogs to get the crosscut station to work properly. These are 60mm. Again, Hongdui, really like the Hongdui tools, but these woodworking, these doggos, but I don't really need them to work in these doggos. But I think these will work better with that crosscut station, and we'll look at that in another video. We'll return back to this fold down workbench because I've got this workbench that elevates to the heights of my other workbenches. I can also use this Hongdui right hand side lem stop. When I looked and unpackaged this a few weeks ago, this wasn't really much use to me at the time because I needed the right hand support. This workbench is the right hand support, so I can configure this to work as a lem stop on my crosscut station again. So we'll look at them two things in a further video. Now the things I want to look at in today's video really are this. Now this is a Enjoywood cabinet scraper. And where it differs slightly from a standard cabinet scraper is it has a little knurled knob in the middle, which if you turn it, puts the bend on the cabinet scraper. For me personally, I think it's a really good thing because I have trouble with my thumbs. So actually bending and holding something with my thumbs will be alleviated with that. Newspaper. In fact, there's more than one in here. So there's an extra 2 knives in here, which are all thinner gauges. That's very fine. That one's a little bit thicker, and then the one that's in here, if I can get it, loosen these knobs and take it out like that. Yeah, it's much bigger. So basically we've got 3 sizes: baby bear, mother bear, father bear of the cabinet scraper world. Tighten these knurl screws up and then just put the bow on with that. I usually use these cabinet scrapers for glue squeeze out when I've glued panels together. They have much more uses of this. I've always found the best way to put a burr on these, to get them to work, you need a burr on the edge, is to use a file. There's a few ways you can do it. Just to take a little file, and because all you want on is a little burred edge, which is almost contradictory to any other tool that we sharpen where we don't want a burred edge. So there's a few ways to do it. I've always found the file, actually the coarser the file the better. This isn't a really coarse file. Just to put the burred edge on it. Or the other option is get something that's hardened steel, maybe something like an hole punch, and just run it along like that, just to put a burr edge on. These work better on hardwood than they do on softwood. It's coming up very nice and smooth. If you know, the camera picks that up, to be fair, but yeah, it's takes a bit of the loading off the thumbs as compared to a little curved cabinet scraper is also very useful if you're cleaning curve work up. I used to use it a lot on handrails, cleaning handrails up. Little convex concave scrapers, just really nice to clean that up. You take a lot more stock off with a scraper than you do with a passive sandpaper. As I say, predominantly I usually use scrapers when I'm gluing panel up, and I've got some glue squeeze. So that's a little cabinet scraper, always useful in a joiner's toolbox, nicely weighted so you can lock your fingers around the back of there. Right, let's have a look at this other box, and this is a thing of beauty. It's another Hongdui tool. It's an HD 39 router plane. This is different from the router plane I have already. It's a lot wider. The surface area of the plane is better. The adjustment on it is very similar. With it being Hongdui, everything works very, very nicely. And then in the package that comes with it, we have got a pointed knife for it. Pointed knife also fits into this, which makes a marking knife. Somebody pointed that out on the last router plane I unboxed with the Hongduis. You get a little handle so you can use the knives as a marking out tool. Little bits and pieces in here. This is a two-part kit, so just put that to one side. This part, which is a guide. So these fit into there, I believe. Like that, or the side or the front, depending which direction you're planing in. Wow, it's lovely and sharp. Just something very lovely about this type of woodwork. Not the best bit of wood, I need that. The grain works better the other way. Nice little groove. There's just something really nice about grooving with an hand plane or using hand tools than using electric routers and screwdrivers. That's beautiful. That's cut the grain so well. Now when you look at the instructions here, there is lots and lots of different configurations of using that plate for different usages, how to create grooves, rebates, stopped ends. Just a really nice tool to have in the workshop. It's really nicely made, it's really well balanced. I'm working on a little mini woodworking bench like this just to create very small components. It's really nice. You don't need a huge workshop. You could work on your dining table if you wanted with a little workbench like this and these little hand tools. So there you go, guys, just a quick overview of this little workbench, this router plane by Hongdui, and the easy wood scraper. We'll look at the Hongdui dogs another time in closer detail because that all works on this MFT table. But for now, little woodworking bench, some really nice quality hand tools. You can have a lot of woodworking fun. Thank you to Banggood for sending me these tools. The links are in the description, and because they've got a tool sale on this week and next week, if you want to look at any tools in their catalogue, there's some discounts there for you. I will see you later, guys. Bye.